What's up everyone, JickJax here. In today's video we are going to be picking back up where we left off last time on trying to install the supercharger on my CLK55 AMG drift car that is also manual swapped. Let's get started. Now to backtrack a little bit to those who are new to the channel or the video, I have this CLK55 AMG that is my drift car. I manual swapped it about 4 or 5 years ago now at this point. Picked up a blower for cheap, kind of just snowballed. You realize that there's a lot more things that you still need even after buying the cheap part or even buying the part. Where we last left off, basically removed anything that was related to the NA stuff. So the intake manifold, wiring harness, all that stuff. And so now we're getting it prepped for the blower install, as well as installing other things like the heat exchanger and whatnot, so that we can all, plumb that up while we wait for some other things to finish up. So yeah, let's get going. All right, day 3. I'm taping this up now so that I can go ahead and tape this up as well. Oh man, it's windy outside. Tape this up, tape this up, tape this up. Any opening so that I can go ahead and start grinding this secondary air pump bracket down. Looks like you gotta grind it pretty low, at least to the point where it meets, almost meets that surface. So, gonna be interesting, but I just gotta get started on it. Cue the time lapse. Grind it down as much as I can. I didn't want to grind it down anymore until I guess I could at least test fit the supercharger on. Definitively know for sure how much I have to grind down. It's almost pretty flat. So I'm gonna move on to the next thing, which is try to make brackets. Oh, great. Try to make brackets for the charge cooler. I'm going to make some L brackets that are going to go on here and just weld them to the chassis. I'm going to go ahead and cut up some metal. Grind down where I wanted the brackets to be. There's going to be one there and one here. Holes drilled. I'm trying to drill out the top 2 as well to match these. And I got the bolts already for them. Yeah, should be good. Pretty bad at recording this stuff, at least while I'm doing it, but it's whatever. Alright, that'll be it for today. I got tired. Got some Sonic. Did get the heat exchanger on. You guys can see right there. It is looking a little low, just a tiny bit. When I put the bumper on, it's like kind of perfect with the inlet. I just really don't want to have a time or point or place where I accidentally scrape, the heat exchanger, because that's kind of bad. If I do, it's like there goes, well, 1, the brackets break, most likely, or bend. And 2, you just lose coolant for the supercharger and all that stuff. Luckily, it's going to be a totally separate system, but yeah. So yeah, I think I made good progress today. Alongside that, I found an old Mercedes-Benz reservoir that I had sitting around, which is going to be my new reservoir for the system. And it's a huge capacity, which is good. The more fluid, the better, I'm thinking. Gonna do all that. I'm pretty much just trying to throw the whole 9 yards at this cooling system for the supercharger. What else am I doing? Oh, I ordered the oil cooler adapter from Benz Force. The blower I think is ready to go on. I just gotta wait till I have a second set of hands, and I already have the gaskets for it and whatnot. So as soon as I get a second set of hands, I'm just gonna bloop, write that on there. Everything else can follow suit. The NA crank pulley is still on there. I didn't realize how much of a pain that one was going to be, so I'm waiting for the actual holder tool. NAs and M113Ks have a different crank pulley holder tool because the crank pulley is longer on these. Either way, pretty exciting stuff. This is the second week, basically. I know y'all are seeing in stages or videos or parts, but this is the second week already. I've been working on it This is probably like the second full day I've actually worked on it. Kind of just on and off.
All right. What?
All right, so day 4, I think, at this point. We're gonna try and Sam's here. He's he's here to help me. I'm sure maybe some of y'all might know him. He has a channel. He's, you know,
That's me.
that's famous for his 156 stuff and MO55 and E39 and a lot of other things, I'm sure. Yeah, wearing the right shirt today. Bro said he got it represented. We're gonna try and test fit the blower on. Go over there.
Don't want to break this guy. Get this off.
No comment, honestly. I think if we just almost want to remove the old one real quick, just because it's kind of annoying to have like two loons of messy shit. Boy said, "What are you wiring for? Stand on them?" I swear, every time like a project starts, it just turns every like whole thing's a disaster.
Yeah. Okay, so how do I do this?
Bro said, "Yeah." Anyways, shut up.
Like, how do you want to, logistically speaking?
I don't know. I guess I'll lift from the left, or I lift on this side, you lift on that side.
Okay, you gotta travel for the rest of those.
Yeah. Oh, it's not too bad with 2 people, actually.
Wow, that's really not bad. I was expecting much worse.
Anything in the way? I think
You okay? No.
luckily landed pretty nicely. Although I will say, are you off?
Yeah.
What's
Rocking on.
Oh, that has to come off for sure.
Hey, but look at that though. Look at that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I never realized how big that.
That is a big boy. God, this clearance is crazy.
That's cool.
You're gonna.
Am I not going to be able to run a clutch fan? Oh,
Damn.
I would hate to get rid of the clutch fan.
I don't think you can, honestly,
Don't say that.
because don't all the 115K cars have E-fans?
So, real quick update. Unfortunately, it looks like this does have to come off. I do have an adapter plate to go on here, so I'm gonna just remove it.
It's just like 4 T25s, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Maybe
Boop, boop,
4.
boop. Yeah, I think it's 4. But otherwise, though, I think we're not hitting at the bottom, though. I don't think. Hard to. Yeah. Oh, there's like a lot of room down there.
It also is not bad at all with 2 people.
No, dude, when I lifted this by myself, it was terrible.
It's just so cumbersome, you know.
Yeah, I was really like. I guess it doesn't really show on video. All right, this just came in from Ben's Force. I picked up the oil cooler adapter plate that they make. Pretty cool. Let's open this up and see how it looks. All right, this is the Ben's Force plate. Looks like it comes with new gaskets, the swivel and fittings. These look pretty nice, actually. And the actual plate itself. Let's see how this looks. If I can open it. Oh yeah, that's pretty nice. Got that on there. So it's gonna be like that. Let's mock it up real quick. Oh yeah, I think we'll have just enough room. It'll be like this. Pretty excited to get this on. Then we can move forward with some other stuff with the car. So. Came in as well is the oil cooler kit, so I'm gonna figure out I'm gonna mount that up today. The dual idler pulley, have that here from Phoebe, and it comes with a new bolt, which is good because I need more of those. The belt. I also bought a crank holder tool. Hopefully it works to see if I can get this thing off. But yeah, so far so good. All right. The Ben's Force adapter is on. Honestly, pretty nice piece. We'll see how well it holds up. Now we're gonna figure out where to mount the oil cooler. I've been debating on where to mount it. I think I'm just gonna end up putting it on the bash bar, which it kind of sucks, but it's whatever. But I think like somewhere right here would probably not be a bad spot, and plus it's pretty small. So the only thing I recall is that the ideal way to have it is where the ports facing upwards or sideways at least. Don't really know if it matters that much, but I guess we'll find out. Yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and figure out where to mount that up and go from there while I wait for my food to get here. I got the oil cooler adapter already installed, the block off for the timing cover coolant hose thing. I got the thermostat on the way. I should be able to do that without having to remove the supercharger, hopefully. So for now, I'm just gonna grab all the bolts that I need to bolt this down. So at least trying to make some progress on there, on that front. And then I'll probably, once that's bolted in, I'm gonna send the injectors out to get flow tested. I found out that I actually have the later model injectors, which is a good thing. They flow more. I think it's like 480 cc. Here it is. There's a specific part number for it. Don't know why they must have increased the rate for some reason, but the later model E55s got bigger injectors. So I think I'm just gonna try to keep those, get them flow tested. I'm gonna get the fuel pressure bumped up to 70. 5 bar to match the M113K. Got to figure that out, which is why we need to go in the back later. But for now, I'm gonna install the supercharger. At least bolt it down. That way, it's like, you know, something checked off the list. Angle gauge on there. Alright, now that that's all accounted for, go ahead and put this back on. So this is on, this is on. I need to tighten them up. Got the thermostat housing right here. Super close clearance with that clutch pulley, but not gonna run the idler over here. The packaging that Mercedes did on this from back in the day is kind of crazy. Considering it was like done like, I don't know, 2005, 2003. Having something like this, I think that's pretty impressive. While I'm waiting for, well, there's a bunch of things that I'm still waiting for. All right, so we're kind of in a dilemma here. I'm trying to make sure everything's squared away for the dry belt and all that stuff. Sorry, I sound kind of stuffy. So I got the supercharger tension on. Mind you, this is all just kind of on there. It's not like on there, but regardless. This is CLK55 2001. It has a 5.4 AMG V8. It has a upper port for the oil cooler, water cooling for the oil cooler, which on some M113s, it seems like they unbolt. Some don't have the water cooler here. This doesn't get talked that often, so I'd like to talk on it because I'm kind of facing this issue at this moment. So I thought, okay, cool. We'll just put a block, a little block off cap right here. Be fine. I had the supercharger bolted up. I thought maybe this was removable. This one doesn't look like it's removed. This one looks like it's part of the timing cover. you know, and I have the screw up here, and I had the screw in there. I just removed it. The problem is I need to get this idler bracket on there. This is off of M113K. Part number is, if it will zoom in, is right there. The issue is because of that, it mounts. This is top. This is the bottom. It mounts like that. Idler pulley goes in here. The problem is where this goes. These two bolts is where that oil port thing goes up. So that, first off, that's kind of blocking everything. So I was like, okay, cool. I could just cut this off. I have 3 more bolts. I think it'll be fine. Another difference between the NA and, or at least my NA engine and the 113K is that I don't have a bolt over here. It's just kind of risky. I don't know if you guys can see, but I have the bolt right there. Nothing to mount over here. I thought at first it would mount on the water pump, but if you look at a couple pictures of 113Ks, apparently there's just like a hole, I guess, somewhere over there where you could screw a, I guess it'd be easier to show if I had the actual part. So basically, imagine it would be like this number right here. Oh, and like, that's been kind of my dilemma. I mean, honestly, today has not been a great day for progress for me. Today, all I did was work on a thermostat, supercharger tensioner, and this, and it's just been kind of like, there's not really much information about this online. I think what I'm gonna end up doing, honestly, there's 2 things I could do. 3. 1, I could just cut off that port and run it with 3 bolts when it needs 4. I think it'll probably be fine with 3. It's just an idler bracket. You know, AMG probably just over-engineered this thing. Yeah, I could do it like that. Not ideal. That means I have to remove the supercharger and all that stuff. I don't really want to deal with that. Second option is I cut off the bracket top right here and run these 2 bolts. And I could probably figure out the amount I need for this bottom one and just have like a little spacer on there. That's plan B. Plan C is not running an idler pulley at all. Yes, there is a reason why Mercedes probably put an idler pulley there, but it pushes it down just ever so slightly. I just don't know if it is, like, you know, entirely necessary. I could try running without it. I mean, I could either, for the first start and for the first, you know, kind of just figuring out how it's going to work, I could just try running without it and run a shorter belt and let, you know, the rest of the pulleys take the slack on it. I mean, if you think about it, the original setup also had an idler pulley, but the idler pulley used to sit where the supercharger, old idler pulley for the NA car, used to sit right here. So yeah, I'm not really entirely sure what to do. I think I'm going to go ahead and just cut this bracket up. I'm going to sleep on it, do some more research. No need for rush because I got the ECU sent out to Mercedes swap shop. He's going to figure that whole thing out. I don't have to really worry about it. I got the injector sent out today to Snake Eater Performance so they can go ahead and get them flow tested. So yeah, there's a lot of just unknowns, and like going into it, I thought it would be like pretty easy. I mean, it's still kind of, in the grand scheme of things, pretty easy, but it's just like still a lot of research to do. Even though like supposedly a lot of people have done it, it's because like none of them end up usually sharing information, so it's just like you just get lost in the sea of just relying on the same 2 or 3 people that have been posting stuff. Like I've been looking at there's a PDF file of some guy who did the swap on a 55, and you know there's still some differences, like that oil port water cooling thing. That dude did not have that issue because you could just unbolt that port off of there and bolt in that idler bracket with some gasket maker, and your job's done. I could replace the timing cover. I don't want to do that. Really don't want to do that. I wanted this to be like a quick and easy, ooh, slap the blower on, and it's gone like a lot more, I don't want to say complicated, just a lot more tedious. Anyways, that's enough yapping for today. that's kind of the update for now. And I'll talk to you guys next time when I got more progress done. Yeah. This next thing is I need to figure out the fuel pump situation and the fuel filter. I need to run a 5-bar FPR. So, anyways, thanks for watching. Stay tuned. Bye.